How many of you feel safe in your homes or know that if a natural disaster struck, you would be able to make it out alive? Due in large part to early warning systems we have in place today, we can avoid vast majority of natural disasters in a way that previous generations could not. FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Association, is the leading government organization in emergency management for natural disasters. It's their job to provide the planning and execution of citizens when natural disasters do occur. Today I will be refuting the New York Times editorial, FEMA admits it failed Puerto Rico. Can it do any better? I want to go into depth about the importance of not only FEMA's contribution to the aftermath of Hurricane Maria's devastation, but the citizens of Puerto Rico and other government agencies. We have to realize that although it is easy to set blame on one particular person, or agency in this case, that's not always the facts. All levels of governments and individual families need to be much better prepared, especially in areas hard to reach in the immediate aftermath of a great storm. FEMA Assistant Director Michael Byrne testified that more than 19,000 federal staff from 80 different agencies were on the ground at the height of the emergency effort. More than $1 billion in commodities such as food, water, tarps, and construction materials were delivered by air, off-road vehicles, and on foot, making it the largest and longest commodity delivery mission in FEMA's history. It is clear that the New York Times editorial is being biased, and it is structured so that all of the blame of Hurricane Maria's aftermath is just the result of poor planning from FEMA. We all know that the magnitude of this tragic disaster caused by Hurricane Maria resulted in many fatalities. This is also a lesson for all sides, so we can be better prepared for future natural disasters and prevent lives from being lost. The editorial is structured based on opinion and an open statement made by an outside source working directly with the Puerto Rican government. During the reading of this specific editorial, you may have it in your mind that the devastation in Puerto Rico is FEMA's blame, but I want to explain why I think it's not. Like I explained above, we are equipped with many early warning systems that help us better prepare for natural disasters like Hurricane Maria. With that being said, in the editorial, the people of Puerto Rico were not examined, and the fact that the devastation was so catastrophic afterwards. In no way am I saying that it's the citizens of Puerto Rico's fault, but emergency and disaster preparation is something I don't think enough people know about. Get tips for shelter planning, evacuation routes, and how to maintain contact with family members. It is important to not only prepare mentally and physically for a disaster like Hurricane Maria, but financially as well. So, in the immediate aftermath of the storm, what Puerto Rico needed were generators, and FEMA ultimately installed more than 2,000 generators, which is a record number for any disaster. Almost all of the supplies that FEMA has available were rerouted to the U.S. Virgin Islands in Florida for Hurricane Irma just 2 weeks earlier. Take that into consideration. This shows that even after major destruction in other parts of the U.S., FEMA did all that it could to help the people of Puerto Rico. When things like this happen, it's very easy to set blame, and the structure of this editorial does just that. This provides evidence that Puerto Rico, as much as FEMA wanted to be there and to provide 100% of the time, they just could not. If they could have been in the disasters of Irma and FEMA at the same time with those necessities and those commodities, they would have been. I started off by giving a very broad statement to make the audience think about, do you? I backed up with proof and statistics and with my own personal opinion and belief on why I refuted this New York Times editorial. So everyone, think about how you can properly prepare for natural disasters. Simply pack together a small box of necessities, or as FEMA calls it, the survival kit, for possible storms just in case you're caught without the possibility of food or water for a short period of time. This survival kit, it contains things like water, non-perishable food, sanitation, and first aid kits. Also, know your social media means of preparation. It's the 21st century. You can simply go to FEMA.gov and watch for upcoming storms, as well as informing them where you are after a natural disaster has hit. Everyone should be prepared for things like this. And as I have realized, You can't just look at one source to base your own personal opinion on a situation.